guys? Listen, we're back by the lake. Beautiful. Look at this. Different angle today, right? Because there's no sun there. I want to stand in the sunlight, right? Nice for the health. You know? Good for the body. All right? Get some sunlight in. Sunlight in your eyes. If you can, of course. If you can. Don't get too serious. Let's talk about something, all right? This is a key point for you guys. Avoidance mindset. This is what this is called. Really groundbreaking stuff I'm giving you guys. Let's just be honest. If you stick to the end of this video, I promise I'm going to blow your mind. All right? So you'll be aware of this and you'll be able to correct it in real time. So let's start off with something funny, right? Yesterday, gym, you know, cute girl, approach, right? Absolutely, messed it up, right? Didn't go that, well. But then again, I didn't, really think that much of it. Let's be honest, right? I just sat there, like, yeah, she's cute, right? I didn't really want to do it. I was like, okay, let's just do it anyways, right? So I walk up to her, got my beanie on, my hoodie on, didn't really even take it off, right? I just almost went up there with my headset on too. I was like, oh, fuck it, let's just do it, right? So, it went decent, right? But, it is what it is, right? You play the game, right? You got to play the game a bit. So that's funny, right? And the thing about it is that we're not talking about pickup, right? We're not talking about pickup here, right? Pickup is easy. Like once you look like this, the irony of that. But but let's just say this, right? Why didn't I want to do this? Right? Why did I stand there and why didn't I want to do this? Because I was done with my session. I see her and it's like she'd been eyeing me, and I was like, yeah, I'll probably go talk to her, right? But then I was sitting down and I was just preparing to leave. I was like, nah, I don't need to do that, right? I'm locked in, right? I'm locked in. Something like that, right? Those, resistance, right? And the thing about it, right, is that it's not about like if there's resistance or not, it's why the resistance is there, right? Because usually there's resistance to a lot of stuff we do, right? And except for stuff that's very easy and, So I always like to analyze the why, right? And so I made this thing called the avoidance. I laid out this thing called avoidance mindset, essentially. And the thing is that I hear this from a lot of people too, right? They're saying, oh, I'm staying focused. Oh, I'm focused on this right now, so I don't need to do this. Right, and this is a trap. This is a trap. So there's a very fine edge to balance here, guys. Okay, so when I was sitting there, right, I was like thinking about, okay, well, I don't need more girls, right? There's tons of girls, right? Not too many, right? Too many. I talk to a few here and there, right? You gotta stay focused too, But I was like, what's the point, right? What's the point? So sitting there thinking that, and that's the key, right? Avoidance mindset comes in many different shapes and forms. But it's like when you're looking at a task and you're like, oh, I don't need that, right? I don't need that. Usually what that is, right? It's not you not needing that. It's you just avoiding the difficulty of doing that, right? That's what it is. And I see this all the time. It's fucking crazy, right? Because I talk to a lot of people interested in business and stuff like this, right? And they're like, yeah, I don't really need that because I'm locked in my business right now. I hear this all the time. This is funny too, because everyone says this, right? All these, business owners. I'm not trying to sell here or anything. I'm just saying this because it's very common, right? They're like, yeah, I'm really focused on business right now, so I'm not really training. I'm like, what the fuck, right? So it's not really that you're locked in on the business, right? It's that you're just afraid of training. Big difference. Big difference. And some people might say oh, well, that's not true. I'm actually locked in. Are you? Right? Because you can look at this, right? Look at this scenario. You're there, right? Cute girl walks by you, right? She walks by you, and you're like, well, I'm focused on my business right now, so I don't want to go talk to her. So you're so focused on your business, you're so focused on your own life, right? That you can't go challenge yourself for 20 seconds, the 20 seconds it takes to go talk to the girl. Is that what you're telling me? Right? Is that what you're telling me? All right. Okay, I guess that. Okay, why are you even outside then? Why? You should be locked in your room, doing your stuff. Why are you even outside? Hey, you're spending 20 seconds walking from your apartment to another place? Hey, you're wasting time now, huh? You're wasting time now. And don't come back to me with all this energy stuff, where you're putting your energy and stuff. If you avoid this stuff, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to become a pussy, right? You're going to become a pussy in the mind. So it's not about the task. It's not about the outcome, right? I don't give a shit about the outcome, right? It's just, this is just for the fights too, right? So you can take that, we have the girl example, we have my fights too. I didn't care if I won or lost in a certain way, right? That's a different topic, right? But that's a performance. That's a topic on like performance arousal and, you know, sports science and all that stuff, right? I've talked about that in the past. But another reason for why I wanted to do the fights was because I didn't want to do the fights, right? That was the point, because it was difficult. And so I could make all the excuses, yeah, well, I'm not going to be a professional Muay Thai fighter anyway, so what's the point, right? Wrong! All right? Wrong. So fucking wrong. We do the fights anyways. Because it's not about whether or not we become a professional Muay Thai fighter, it's about the challenge, all right? That's what it's all about. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is so obvious. It's like every single time I hear this stuff from people, like, this is so obvious. You're just avoiding the task, right? It's not that you're locked in. It's not that you don't want to do it because of some rational reason. It's just that you're a pussy, right? You don't want to do this stuff. And it's so easy, right? It doesn't take you that long. I mean, training for a fight, you know, it doesn't really take that much either, right? You know, you fucking train every day regardless, right? Yeah, that's interesting too, right? You see these people, so they'll train, and then it's like, hey, why don't you do a fight? It's like, yeah, no, I don't really think so. I'm really focused on this right now. Well, but you're training like 2 times a day regardless. Like, yeah, but at least oh my God, right? Oh my God, guys, I can smell your pussy from here, right? What are you talking about, right? It smells like pussy when you're talking to me. What the fuck, right? So, this is interesting, right? When you think you're above something, right? Making your bed, for example, another big example. Everyone thinks, I don't need to, I'm focused on this, right? I don't need to make my bed, all right? Because it's not about the fact that you need to, this is the key point, right? It's not the fact that you need to make your bed. That's not the big deal, right? I even heard that making your bed is bad, right? Because you can't air out your fucking sheets or whatever, right? It's not about that. It's about the fact that you said in here, I'm above it, and now you have to go do it. Isn't that beautiful, huh? Isn't that beautiful? Because this is about avoidance. It's not about, you know, because you're trying to rationalize this in your own head, right? But it's not even rational at all. Because you're saying that you're so locked in that you can perform a task that takes like ding, ding, ding seconds. No, it doesn't make any sense, right? And it's not, of course, it doesn't go for anything. It's not like I'm going to dip my balls in honey because I'm out here by the lake and I'm focused on, you know, taking a lake bath, right? It's not like I'm making an excuse for not dipping my balls in honey, right? There's a context that matters of this, right? It's not like I do that anyways. But it's not like, oh, I really don't want to dip my balls in honey, right? So I'm not going to, so I'm going to do it by the lake. Like, what the fuck, right? So I'm not insane for saying this, right? I just, you know, sound insane. But, like, it's funny, because everything I say in these videos, there's always a truth. And it's funny, too. I'll say this, too. I'll say this is the key point. Let me just, you know, make sure I look good for this, right? Grab myself some coffee. Beautiful. All right. Let's just say this. I'm just going to make this point very, very clear. Anyone who challenges strength are basically trying to make a point for weakness. It's not about challenging strength. It's not about trying to make it right. It's about, you know, justifying weakness. That's what it is. So all these studies, everyone who's ever challenging a point of strength, coming from a point of strength, you're just, you know, justifying weakness. That's all you're doing. When you're saying like, hey, I don't need to do this, right? Because of this. You're not trying to, justify doing the other thing. You're trying to avoid doing this. It's key, right? Because when I'm running 100 kilometers, right, people might go and be like, oh, well, Nico, that's not healthy, right? And it's like, probably not, right? And it's like, yeah, well, then I don't need to do it. Wrong. It's that you don't want to do it. You're avoiding the task. That's what it is. So it's not the fact that it's unhealthy. Actually, it's quite healthy, you know, become hard to kill. But it's the fact that you don't want to do it. And now you're trying to justify it by saying it's unhealthy. Well, it's not. You know, it's interesting, right? And it's not like we're talking about potato chips here. It's not like I'm saying like potato chips are unhealthy because I want to avoid eating potato chips, right? We're talking about something different here. And I know you know, see the difference. If you don't, then hey, you can get out of here. You know, these videos are for quite smart people. You know, everyone who watches these videos are very smart, by the way. I'm just telling you, you're at home sitting this watching, you're very smart. Because you're here and you're understanding there's different, you know, nuances to truth and to what goes on in the mind and the body, you know. So I appreciate you, you know. I appreciate you being here. When you're facing a decision, right? This is a key point. And it's a finishing point, really, because it doesn't really have to be a long video. When you're facing a decision, it's like you're locked in, whatever, right? Whatever. I hate the word locked in. It's not fucking, it's so overused. That word, and also the use trenches, right? Everyone's been using trenches, right? You don't even know what a fucking trench is. You don't even know how to dig one, right? But anyway, digression. Whenever you're facing a decision, whether that be going up, talking to a girl, whether that be going and making a bed, whether that be going and be doing something else, right? You ask yourself the question, why am I not doing this? Why am I avoiding this? And the goal is to find out whether or not you're coming from a place of strength. What does that mean, coming from a place of strength? It's something I mentioned in a different video too. The one I talked about forgiveness, and peace. Coming from a place of strength is that the hidden intent, and I made a long video on intent, which you have to watch. I'll put the annotation here. That's the most important, somewhere here. There's going to be a thing. It's the most important video you ever watch on mindset. What is the intent of either doing this or not doing this? All right, so why are we really avoiding this? So when you're sitting down and you don't want to go talk to this girl, is it really because you're that busy, right? That you don't have the 20 seconds it takes to go up and talk to this girl? Or is that you're scared, right? Those two things are different. If you have stuff to do, yeah, maybe. Then this is coming from a place of strength, right? If you don't have stuff to do and you're just avoiding it because you're not trying to justify it, that is a place of weakness, okay? It's a place of weakness. And let me just adjust this. I'm in the beautiful sun here. It's a place of weakness. And it's very important to recognize where and when and kind of what behind all these actions. Because if you do that, if you can come from a place of strength in most of your actions, you'll be in a better place. I swear to God. That goes for everything. And that's so important with intent. When we talked about that in the video, my God, you need to go listen to that video. I even changed the audio. I put like audio and answer on it so it can be nice and for you to listen to while you don't even have to watch the video because it's just me talking, right? But you can, there's not much going on, right? I'm not showing off my beautiful body, for example, right? So you can listen, right? You can listen. That's the point, right? I put audio enhancers. You can listen. So it's nice, I just want to talk about that, okay? If you guys have any questions about this, comment down below, all right? I put this name on it, Avoidance Mindset. I think it's a cool name, right? You guys let me know. It's part of my blueprint. And I'll be, yeah, that's cool, all right? Hope you guys enjoy that, all right? Go out there, challenge yourself, even at the smaller levels. Don't make excuses, all right? It doesn't serve you, all right? Think about it, okay? Go have a blessed day. All right? Take care, and God bless.